Hi everyone, my name is Salina Edwards. I am the founder of GrandValli, and so I wanted to get on here and kind of speak a little bit to the direction I'm really hoping and kind of excited to try to take GrandValli into. If you've kind of been following along, it's an idea that I had to really showcase small businesses, entrepreneurs, creatives in my community. And as we've started the process, I've continuously had ideas of how do we continue to build this? How do we build the story around GrandValli, these businesses, the creatives, the entrepreneurs, and how do we grow? And so I've come up with this idea to really make GrandValli a world of its own. And it may be hard to kind of envision that, especially as I try to explain it. But I'm trying to picture GrandValli as an ecosystem, right? So we're not just an ad agency, or we're not just a marketing agency, or a content production agency, or a podcast, or just a studio. I want us to pretty much become a hybrid place where we not only work with small businesses and creatives and entrepreneurs, but we create opportunities for talent, whether you're a graphic designer, whether you're an animator, whether you're a writer, whether you're a photographer, whatever you kind of do. We create an ecosystem that connects brands, creatives, entrepreneurs with talent to facilitate the creation and collaboration that is kind of needed, that smaller brands and smaller entities miss out because they're not as big and popular as Nike, Adidas, or a lot of those bigger corporations. And at the same time, the reason why the talent piece is important is because if you're somebody like me who's either has a lot of different interests or has, been in the job force trying to find on that job that you really want and been applying, you've also been getting rejected, or ghosted. And so I think there's an opportunity for us to, in a way, create our own opportunity. And I think there's big opportunity in storytelling, more so in regards to bringing people into the world in which we live, as a business, as a creative, and as an entrepreneur, more than just like, hey, this is what we do on social media, or this is our written content, but really kind of create an experience. And so my goal with GrandValli, honestly, the ideal big dream would be for it to be almost like Disney in a way, but focused on small businesses, medium-sized businesses, creatives, entrepreneurs, but it's an ecosystem, right? So for example, thank you to the my friends and businesses that have pretty much been the pilot. But let's take our very first one, Lavish Braids Hair Lounge, owned and pioneered by my friend Lena Pylan. We've told her story on a podcast. We've put it out on YouTube. We've sent clips on Instagram. But we've also recently just launched an ability to pre-order a t-shirt. We're doing 100 of those, where it's a collab between her and GrandValli, and our Lavish Hair and Braids Lounge and GrandValli. And it has her logo, GrandValli's logo, and a quote from her on the back. We're gonna make 100 of those, so it's out now. You can definitely pre-order it. But that's just a piece of it, right? So that's an artifact that laments that moment in history where GrandValli collabed with Lavish Hair Braids Lounge and produced that. But there's more to it. Like, what if there was an animated series about her and her journey? What if there was a children's book, that little kids can read, or parents who kind of want to instill that imaginative muscle in their kids, reads it to them? Or what if there's a little animated series about it? We also are doing a mini podcast, or a mini documentary that'll feature all 5 of our pilot kind of season 1 businesses and creative. So that's going to be something to look out for too. But imagine that there's a world where, as a small business, as a creative, as an entrepreneur, one, you're not having to do everything by yourself. And then 2, you're not limited by what traditionally has been the thing, right? You have your social media, you have your website, you just really work on those things, and you focus on your product, right? But there's so many other ways to engage people around you into who you are as a brand, into your story. And so that's really what the big vision is of GrandValli, is to create pretty much a world in which there's multiple entry points into what GrandValli is, and then the businesses and the talent and the creatives and the entrepreneurs that are a part of it. And so I hope that makes sense. I'm still fleshing it out, and a lot of it is just going to be working through it as we build and as we grow. But I hope that has been a little bit helpful. I just wanted to kind of put what was in my mind out into the world. So for those of you who this resonates with, this is pretty much your invitation to participate. For those of you who don't care, don't see, that's fine too. I know right off the bat, GrandValli is not going to be for everybody. Not everybody's going to be able to see it the way that I see it. But pretty much GrandValli is an opportunity, and this is an invite to enter a world in which we push the limits on what traditional probably business storytelling, engagement, and creative ecosystems have been, and we question how big it can become. So follow along. I'm going to try to put myself out there a little bit more honestly, and also, honestly, this is also a challenge for myself to put my face out there instead of keeping everything to myself, but actually sharing it with community and people that it resonates with. So here we go. I'm excited. So we'll see what GrandValli turns into, and all the different projects and everything that we get up to. It should be pretty exciting.